Young man, young woman, keep your head up high, it's okay to cry. There's options in life waiting for you. Just take
Keegan
some time.
Allen was just like every ordinary grade 12 student. He was full of life at age 18, playing video games, hanging out with his friends, on the computer all day, and hanging out with his mom. Last year, Thanksgiving, a tragic accident took his life away. On today's show, Carol Allen talks about the loss of her only son. Carol, welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So what happened last year, Thanksgiving Day?
I wasn't really feeling too well that whole weekend, so I was actually in bed. And my son, he got up. He was very excited because he had been talking about this dance competition that he was going to be going to with his friends, because he's a dancer, but he wasn't participating in this particular event. Okay. But a lot of his friends were, so he was really just going for the support. He came in my room and got up and said, "Mom, I got just a couple things I need to for my wardrobe, so I'm going to go run over to the mall and come back." And so I said, okay, fine. So he went, did that, came back home, and then a couple hours later he got ready, and he said he was going to be meeting with some of his friends to go down to this particular location. Late that night, I was dead sleeping, and I got a phone call from one of his friends who said, "Keegan's been shot." And I said, "What do you mean Keegan's been shot?" Because I knew he was at this event. I knew it was an all-ages event. So, I was in shock at that point. And, the first thing I said is, like, how bad is it? Because, I didn't have no clue. I was just totally out of it at that point. The person that called, his friend, basically said he got shot in the head. And I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah," because he had a hat on and the blood was coming out of his head, and he must have fallen over next to this person.
So then at that point, you're just like, they can't be talking about my son.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
He was just there 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, exactly. The way he wasn't able to give me too much information, all he could tell me was that the paramedics were just arriving, and he passed the phone over to one of the paramedics that had come. Okay. She basically said to me, "You know what, I can't even tell you anything right now, Miss Allen, because I just got here. I haven't even really looked at your son. I really just got here." So she said to stay by your phone, and I'm going to call you back. So, by this time, I'm in a panic. I don't know the condition. She couldn't tell me anything. So I was really a nervous wreck. And I made a couple calls. I called a girlfriend of mine and told her to come and get me, because I told her what happened, that Keegan had been shot.
So the event was actually during the day. It wasn't at night.
It was actually scheduled to be an evening event starting at 6 o'clock, because it was an all-ages event.
Ordinary kids just hanging out, having fun. Was there alcohol served at this
No,
event?
not to my knowledge, because, again, it was all ages. I know that there's usually two main hospitals where, when you're in the where there's, especially when you're in the downtown, that area was actually West Toronto. So I figured there's got to be two hospitals, either Sunnybrook or St. Mike's. So I called both of them. I called Sunnybrook, and I'm not getting any response. "No, we don't have a Keegan here. We don't have no gunshot victims here. We have nothing." So I called St. Michael's, and same thing. They had no recent victims come in. No sign of anybody so far. Don't know how much time had passed. The lady hadn't phoned me back yet, and I said, "I got to get out of here." So while I was trying to get myself together, my friend did come. She came and she picked me up. And I said, "You know what, let's hit the highway. It's got to be one of the two hospitals." Then when I was on the highway, I actually called the police, and I said, I've just been informed my son was shot. He was at this particular event. And I'm trying to figure out, where I'm trying to figure out which hospital he went to. So it turned out that he was actually at St. Mike's. Then I got to St. Mike's, and it was just, of course, everything was just going through me. I don't know, is he dead or alive? How bad is he? At the hospital, now I walk in, they had no information for me. They had no clue. They said they don't know if anybody came in. They don't remember anybody coming in. And it was so frustrating. It was really frustrating, because the first few, minutes, that whole lack of communication and not knowing.
And you're not knowing what's going on. And at this point, your mind is in a turmoil.
Exactly.
You're trying to figure out what happened to your son.
Exactly.
When we get back, we'll be speaking with Carol. She's going to tell us about her journey to recovery and how she coped with losing her only son after these messages. We'll be right back.
Young man, young woman, keep your head up high, it's okay.
Where else in the world can you find the best wedding and honeymoon vacations, family package accommodations, the Regal Piton, Sulphur Springs and Drive-In Volcano, entertaining nightlife, beaches and sunsets for quiet romance, exhilarating rides through the rainforest canopy, duty-free shopping, delicious local and international cuisine, and fantastic festivals all in one country? St. Lucia, nice boy! See your travel agent or visit www.stlucia.org.
Young man, young woman, keep your head up high, it's okay.